science, technology, engineering, mathematics. This academic discipline, commonly known as STEM, contains some of the most competitive and highly regarded programs at Cal Poly. Beneath the surface, however, Cal Poly's STEM programs are not all that they seem.
I remember my second year, I walked into class and the teacher was like, oh, you know what, I'm really sorry, this is actually ME 218, you're in the wrong class. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not. So there's been a few of those. My senior project group, it's with 3 other males, and there have been countless times where I'll say an idea and then it'll get ignored, and 20 minutes later my male peer will say the exact same one, and they'll be like, oh, awesome idea, we'll build off of Tyler's.
I've had guys in classes just be flat out mean to me. My lab partner in my physics 2 class was horrible. I don't do this, but I went and talked to my professor about him because he was just so mean. He was mean to me, he was mean to my female professor.
There's not a lot of female professors that I've had at Cal Poly. I can think of probably 6 out of a 40 or 50 department staff. Some of the female professors I've had that I've absolutely loved, a lot of my peers will be like, oh, you have her, she's such a bitch, which is really frustrating to see that, not only for myself, but also for those female teachers, of that it doesn't really end once you graduate college or get a job in industry. It's something that you're always going to carry with you no matter how far in academia you go. I have tenured PhD female professors who still get talked about like they're dumb or lesser.
Hi, Sophia.
How are you? It's nice to meet you.
I sat down with mechanical engineering professor Melinda Keller to learn more about the women in STEM disparity at Cal Poly.
I started teaching part-time as a part-time lecturer and very much faced discrimination. The department chairs would work together to make sure that I would not receive benefits. When I was pregnant, they decided that they just didn't have any work for me, so they wouldn't have to pay my maternity leave. When I applied for full-time positions, a bunch of people just laughed at me, just telling me that I wasn't the right kind of person for a full-time tenured track position.
Like Professor Keller, Zidar has faced blatant discrimination and uncomfortable situations during her time in STEM at Cal Poly as well.
There was actually one time my second year in my materials engineering lab, Mate 215, that I had to ask my teacher to switch lab groups because one of my male lab partners had asked me on a date and went about it so peculiarly, and so with such strong perseverance after I had said no, that it was actually difficult and impossible to work with him for the rest of the quarter. And I don't want that to come off in a cocky, everyone wants to date me way. It's more just when you're working with 9 men and you're the only woman, it definitely feels like there's eyes on you in a way that's not necessarily academic that males in the field definitely don't have to face.
So, can this issue be fixed? Professor Keller believes that altering curriculum to reflect a broader range of interests is an important first step.
And we've been putting together more fun projects, like doing projects at the Children's Museum, or helping kids in wheelchairs have fun, or just lots of solar projects, things that are changing the world for the better instead of we make cars, right? So
next to a change in curriculum, Guaria and Zidar believe that hard work and perseverance are key to resolving issues within STEM fields.
I know I come to class. I look appropriate for class. I am respectful of the professor. I have done the homework. I come prepared. If I make a mistake or I don't know the answer, that's all right. But at the end of the day, I don't care. No one can get under my skin. I have my goals. Don't get in the way of my goals.
I think when I do feel discouraged, I always try and think of how awesome it will feel when I do get that degree, or when I do finish that class or finish whatever task is at hand. And it's going to feel really good to look all the men who are mean to you in the eyes, who told you couldn't do it, and be like, I did it, now I'm getting paid more than you, and I have a cooler job.